Welcome back to the channel, boys. We did it. Top 1% has been cracked. So, the hard work begins now. The hard work is staying up in the top 1%. But we're there. Good round. What an absolute roller coaster of a round. I genuinely started so poorly. I was in group chats just saying, man, white flag, it's over. I've conceded after like the first 2 games. And then the SuperCoach gods just shone down on the degenerate SuperCoach, and the rest is absolute history. Unbelievable scenes. Let's get into it, boys. Let's get into it. The Soy Boys will not be happy with this performance at all. They would be absolutely spewing. And that's what we love. That's what we love, guys. Righto. Let's start from the top and we'll rip down. Starting with a 50. He got his try assist ripped from him. The amount of times that... See, this is where the grey area around try assists happen, right? The amount of times that I see hookers get given try assists from dummy half, it happens all the time. Am I saying that it's right or wrong all the time? No, it's obviously not. But there would be a lot of examples of hookers being given try assists for exactly what Starling did. If that was Harry Grant, that's a try. That's a try assist. If that was Harry Grant, it's a try assist. I don't know. Anyway, 50, happy with that. He just, like, the hooker spot between, like, for me, Starling and Mamazulis is just going to do a job. Really. Like, I just don't want to waste any trades at all up at hooker. Nothing. Like, Watson was another option, but he's going to be playing Origin, and the Roosters have a terrible bye coverage. Not for me at all. So, and really outside of that, like, Grant's injured, he's going to be playing Origin. It's dead. The hooker spot's dead this year. Anyway, Haas and May, oh my god. May played 85 minutes, man. 85 minutes for 118 points. This is Paul Gallen all over again. Like, I honestly am very tempted, and I think I likely will just captain May this week against the Dragons. There's really no clear standout captain this week. There really isn't. Like, Sharks, Para, maybe Hines, but Hines hasn't got the ceiling anymore. Roosters, Dolphins. Like, if I own Teddy, maybe. South Newcastle, like, there's duds there. Like, Cowboys, Warriors. No, like, there's just not much going on. Like, there really isn't. Melbourne, Canberra are going to be a slog. You can't even, like, confidently captain Pappy that game. Cleary and Broncos. Like, it's just... It's got to be Haas or May this week. I think I might just do that, just through safety alone. Anyway, Elias Katoa with a 73, Tino with a 69, Horsburgh with a 67. Olakau'atu saved my ass with 106. The bloke was on like 55 at halftime or something like that. Unbelievable. Like, he just... I said before in a comment, someone suggested selling Olakau'atu, and I was like, why would you sell Olakau'atu against the Penrith Panthers when their edges have been leaking more than a lesbian at yoga? Like, I just don't understand why you do that. So, Olakau'atu was 100% a play this week. Egan with a 30. That sucked. It sucked because he played 49 minutes. He came off injured. He really didn't look in the game. And to be honest with you, the Roosters were by far the better side. They came out and absolutely dominated the Dragons in the first half. And I reckon the boys were just absolutely gassed. And Egan was absolutely fucked. So, I'm not quite sure if it's alarm bells yet for Egan. but I think his cash flow has definitely been stunted for now. Let's just wait and see what they say about his injury and whether or not he could be a sell. I just don't know yet. Cleary with a 54. Manly came and just took advantage of the Panthers' underwhelming start to the season. Like, I just don't know what else to say about it, really. Like, the Panthers just aren't that side anymore. I think eventually they'll come good, but there's a lot of issues there. So, Hines with a 78. He absolutely dominated that game. That was Hines' game, not Trindle's. Trindle, in my opinion, cost the Sharks that game. Yeah. I don't want to dive too much into that, but anyway, Munster, 65. Did a job. I expected a little bit better, but Carraz with a 53. The Bulldogs got absolutely, like, they were shell-shocked at halftime. I think it was like 34-0 at halftime. Look, man, Carraz with a 53 in a side that got absolutely pumped, I'd still be rushing to get him in, because if that's practically his floor. So, Marzu with a 49. Bo Firma, ladies and gentlemen. I stuck strong. Bo Firma is not a gun. I wouldn't say that he's a gun. I wouldn't put Firma in a gun category. He's not. But he's just that little bit of a tier down where he could honestly be spoken about as a season keeper. That's what I think. Because in the games that he has played 2RF this season, he's averaged like 72 points. He had those 2 games there where he played in the centre and the Titans were getting flogged and he barely saw any ball and he scored really poorly. Back on the edge, man, he's in. He should be in talks for Origin. Yeah. Billy Smith with a 35. That would probably be Billy Smith's floor. That's pretty much what we're going to get with Billy without any attacking stats. So it is what it is. Captain to Pappy for 66. Drinkwater with 132. Very scary stuff at halftime. Yeah. He was on like 8 points. So that's a little bit concerning because given the fact that he's probably not going to score 124 points every second half that he plays, that is worrying, but he is the target for the major buy round and the Origin period. So, happy to get him in. Gutho with a 44. Now, this is going to be a big talking point. What do you do with Gutho? I personally would just hold. Because where are you going? What are you doing? Like, are you going Gutho to Ponga, who's averaging like, what, 35 over the last 4 weeks? If you haven't got Drinky, I could go from Gutho up to Drinky, but outside of that, where are you going? You're not going to Latrell. You're not going to Dylan Edwards because of Origin. If you've already got Teddy, you know, but if you haven't got Teddy, I wouldn't be getting in Teddy this week. I wouldn't be paying 150k extra for him to miss next week because they've got to buy. And then, you know, I don't think he plays Origin. I think they'll sit with Dylan Edwards, but yeah. Like, I'm probably just going to keep Gutho this week and play him. He's up against the Tigers. The Tigers leak points. Magic round. Hopefully they don't use Gutho as a decoy again, which is wild. But, yeah, I personally would be... If your fullbacks are Pappy, Drinkwater and Gutho, I'd just hold Gutho. Just hold. If Ponga comes out this week and the Knights look amazing, maybe go Gutho to Ponga next week. But then again, you've got to deal with the fact that Ponga probably plays Origin now because Walsh is injured, yada, yada, yada. So, and to be honest, I think Ponga was getting that spot over Walsh anyway. Righto. I'm going to be going over a lot of questions. I got given a lot of questions in my comment section over the weekend, and I'm going to be going over them individually. Righto. So, give me 2 secs. Just got to get it up. That's what she said. Righto. Question 1. What props are we trading to all through the Origin period? Everyone will have the same props, so this is a question to make moves to gain ground. Tarpany. I think Max King. Does Max King, yeah. So Tarpany, Max King, Lindsay Smith. Lindsay Smith is a smoky for, I wouldn't say smoky. He might make the bench for Origin. Maybe. But I think, Tarpany. I think Max King. I think they'll both be pods, relatively. My God, what the hell's just happened then? Alright, guys. I've just been logged out of my SuperCoach. So, give me 1 sec. Righto, we're back. No idea why. Technology's blah. Back to where we were. So, front row forward pods. Yeah, I like Tarpany. I like Max King. There's not real major ones that stand out. Like, front row, like all the big guns that we've got have been the ones that you kind of want to hold. Like, off the cuff, I'll just be like saying maybe like Saifiti's yuck. Toby Couchman probably. Like Max King, Tarpany, Toby Couchman, Aaron Clark, another one. Yeah, outside of that, it's pretty gross. I wouldn't be going too far away from the ones that I mentioned. So, next one, what do you do with Gutho? I think I just explained that previously. Third question, do I cut ties with Reynolds as he always is injured and get Moses in or let it ride? I think Reynolds is just a ticking time bomb. That bloke is made of glass, and I just... Look, if you enjoy owning him, I probably would get Moses in, but just keep in mind Moses will be playing Origin, so there's going to be some games there where you could be genuinely out with no halfback. If you have a Cleary and a Moses, maybe just ride it out with Reynolds. Next question. With the Origin bye period fast approaching, how many guns in your team will you look to hold throughout this period, and who are they? Now, ideally, you want to be having the depth to be able to cover the guns through Origin period. Now, I've obviously got Katoa, who won't play Origin. Ola Kawatu is probably going to be playing Origin, but if you hold on to Dylan Egan and Hubner and Horse, if Horse plays Origin, but then you've got Nafahu White, who you can slot down with your Jules to cover. Like, ideally, you'd want to be holding most of your Origin players. Unless you've saved an absolute chunk of trades and you're happy to just burn through a bunch of trades, I don't think you want to be using 10 trades to wash in and out your Origin players. You want to be having cover. Why do you hear Latrell Mitchell's name 3,000 times a Bunnies game even when he's doing nothing? I'm staying well away from that question. The 3 best stat 2RFs to get. Elias Katoa, Hudson Young, Tino, Ola Kawatu, Fafita if he finds form. Yeah, it's all over the place. Pretty much the ones that I've mentioned. There's really not much going on outside of that. What do you do with Gutherson? So obviously I've already answered that. Teddy or Drinkwater? If I have to choose between Teddy or Drinkwater, I'm choosing Teddy. Just because he's a lot more trustworthy. Like every single week you're almost guaranteed to get that 70 plus, where Drinky has a much lower floor. Yeah, I would definitely be going Teddy over Drinkwater. Also, is Savala a viable downgrade option? I don't trust Savala at all. I think his floor is very low, and I think that's got trap all over it. If you have no fires this week, would you trade Hubner to Savala to free up cash? I personally would not do that unless it is to bring in a gun. A gun that's going to cover through your origin period and through your major buy rounds. What is the movement on Ponga? And is he a hold and lose even more money or move on? Look, guys, friends, if you've held on to Ponga this long, you have to, you're on the bottom of the ocean right now with that ship. There's no coming up. You're on the bottom. So you may as well hope and pray that boat floats to the top again, because who are you trading to? If you've got Ponga right now, who are you going to? There's no one. The bloke's like 500k or 550 or whatever it is. If you've held Ponga this long, just hope and pray, mate. Hope and pray. Keep Gutho or not, we've already been over that. Is Cleary a sell? Now, at halfback position this season, who else really is there? Let's go over it, right? Let's have a look. So, let's have a look at the halfbacks. And let's go over it together and we'll find out who would you trade Cleary to. Now, if you're trading Cleary out over the origin period, you're going to want to try and get him back. So, you've also got to keep in mind, is the player you're bringing in for Cleary worth the 2 trades to trade back out? And are they going to hold the price so you don't have to stuff around with the rest of your side to get Cleary back in? Now, Jamal Fogarty, 660k. Raiders have a good draw. I could see some arguments to go Fogarty over the course of origin period. I don't think he's bad. He's averaging 71. It's not a bad shout. Katoa for the Dolphins, it's not a bad shout. Dylan Brown, he's back at 5'8 now. Moses will probably have some time off over origin, so maybe Dylan Brown plays 7 again. Jerome Hughes, 620k. He's lost a chunk of money. And with Munster playing origin, I think that there's a world where you could go Cleary to Hughes, and hopefully over the origin period, Hughes goes on a massive run, which we know he can, and Hughes just goes right back up to 800k again, and then you could downgrade back to Cleary and bank yourself some money. So outside of that, that's it. There's nothing else. There's absolutely nothing else. Hopefully that answers your question. There's more questions. Give me one tick. Is Tedesco edging in front of Dylan Edwards for the New South Wales fullback? No, I don't think so. I think they'll stick with the winning formula from last season. Still have Grant and Campbell. Is it all right to keep holding? I don't think so. I think if you have both Grant and Campbell, this week's probably the week to move on. I don't think we're going to see Campbell until round 13. The Titans have round 12 bye. Why rush him in between now and then? I don't think so. Grant, sell. He's 4 to 6 weeks with the hammy, I believe. I think, unless I'm wrong. Just double check to see how long he's got. If it is a few weeks, you're running the hamstring straight into origin period, and then he's probably going to get rested because, I'd be staying away from Grant for now. Is it time to cut the cord on Cleary? Already answered that. Do I need to start playing Sandon Smith over Starling? Look, I Sandon Smith is not going to score you 120 plus every single week. So just go over his scores. Have a look at what he's done in the past. Ideally, man, they're both the same. Flip a coin. Starling's getting you 50, 60 points every single week. So it's much of a muchness. Perfect time to buy Keon. I don't mind it as a pod play. I really don't. I think Keon can do a job. You know what I mean? Like, the Bunnies just look so disjointed at the moment. Like, Latrell's gone again. Surprise, surprise. I don't know. He's not playing on his preferred edge. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be rushing to get him, but if you need a pod play, if you want to try and climb the ranks a little bit, I'd probably maybe do it. Yeah, that's about it. A lot of very similar questions, so just hit the 20-minute mark. I like to keep things nice, short, sharp. Oh, is that a sign to get Fletcher Sharp in? No. Righto. Now, my quick trade thoughts. This is just Monday off the cuff. I'll sit on it. Things might change, but I'm thinking that I'll go JC down to Talagi, Blaze, which will give me the ability to be able to go White up to Herbie via Jules. So all I need to do is just move White down into my 2RF, trade him in for someone, and then move Firma up to 2RF and trade that someone back down into Herbie again via the Jules. So that's what I'm thinking about doing now. That means that it'll give me Karaz and Herbie as my two guns, with Tamale, Billy Smith as my other two, and Firma's going to be up at the 2RF. So I did think about Lucas, but I want to be able to hold that edge up the top now. And I think too many people have gone to Lucas and not enough people have gone to Herbie just yet. And like, if you were to tell me right now, who do you think is going to score more over the next 5 weeks between Herbie and Dylan Lucas? It's close, but I think Herbie just gets him. Could be very, very wrong though, my friends. Righto. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Let me know how you went in the comments. Hopefully you are all killing it. And yeah, rip in. Let me know who you're trading this week. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe. It helps the channel. I do this for free. See you all next week.